Hey, Fiancé Freaks, I'm Sam.
I'm Emily, and this is 90 Day Fiancé Freaks.
It's finally here, Emily. We've been waiting all season, and we finally get to see Molly and Dev confront Scheana's parents.
They've been waiting 7 years for this confrontation.
Somehow me waiting 7 episodes seems way worse than them waiting 7 years to me.
7 years, 7 episodes, same thing.
It's felt like 7 years to me because I've been really wanting to see this. But before they get there, we do get to see Forrest and Scheana have what will likely be their last alone conversation for the rest of the visit, because Molly's not going to let them have these conversations alone anymore.
And Forrest uses that opportunity to confront Scheana.
Yeah, he does. What did you think about her response to him?
She completely evaded his question.
Dodgy.
She was very dodgy, and Forrest knew it. He called it out, at least in his interview. It didn't really seem like he called it out in their conversation, unless we didn't see that part. But in his interview afterwards, he said she was not really being direct in answering what I was asking her.
Exactly. I thought it was like masterful on her end, right? She's just, I don't know. She just dances around the subjects so expertly. But we see it though, Scheana. We see it.
She does. And I also feel like she has hidden that about herself for 7 episodes. Like, now that I see it in plain sight, I can think back and remember warning signs of this throughout the last few episodes, but it was always just kind of like, like inklings and wonderings. And now it's like, a lot more about her personality has come to light in this episode. The very next morning, Scheana and Forrest are out at the front gate, ready for Molly and Dev to pull up.
They are, and I'm sorry, but Forrest is he's excited. That night before, he says, maybe when my mom gets here, she'll be able to get to the bottom of this. I feel like he wants Molly to come confront her because he can't.
He does. There's more jackfruit ready for them, ready and waiting.
Yeah, so the first jackfruit was from the city. From a market, I think. But this jackfruit is cut straight from the tree, which no better way, I would assume.
Right, so fresh.
Yeah. What did you think of Molly's first impression of what are we calling it? The estate? We have to have like some fancy name for it. At least at the palace.
The grounds, the estate.
The grounds.
The palace. Any of these seem to make sense to me. I mean, she looked flabbergasted. She looked like she had the same reaction that all of us did. Like, what? Gorgeous gardens? Gorgeous groomed gardens? All these little lawn chair areas? A pool that lights up at night?
Yeah. I like how Scheana said that. I'm like, Scheana, girl, don't rub it in. Just play it down a little. Don't play up the pool features. Do you not see?
I know. She was doing the opposite of what I thought. I was like, you need to be downplaying this, not talking it up.
Yeah, like the pool needs a new filter. It's kind of broken, but we'd make it work. And like, oh, this swing is a little janky. Point out some flaws, my girl. Like, come on. But Molly does say, she says, they live better than me and Forrest do.
Yes. Yep. So her first impressions are exactly what ours were.
Mm-hmm. And a little bit of resentment on the side.
So she doesn't meet the parents the first night. They go straight to bed, which is understandable. You know, they've been traveling. And I think Scheana said her dad was busy that night. But then the next morning, she gets to meet dad and sister.
I feel like her dad and sister are pretty welcoming. They're super hospitable, are they not?
They're super welcoming. They're super nice and friendly. They're just really very normal.
Yeah, surprise, surprise, they're normal people. But they take them to, Emily, oh my gosh, this dinner, this boodle fight.
This dinner looks amazing. I wanted to eat that.
First of all, they like lay fresh green, like beautiful, lush banana leaves all over the table. I was already in. I'm like, I'll eat these. I don't care. Like, this looks amazing. But no, then they go and they spoon rice over it and then like some sort of seafood, right? Like shrimp and things. It looked so good.
Also, talk about fancy, expensive food. I'm not sure in her region, but yeah, shrimp. I can't remember what the other seafoods were, but it was a variety of delicious, maybe mussels, delicious, seemingly expensive sounding foods.
Yeah, we'd have to look. Maybe that's the cheaper, catch of the day or something. But either way, they put out a spread for these people. You know what I mean? They really welcomed them and like showed them authentic, what I guess would assume is authentic Philippine cuisine.
And Molly's impression of the meal too was that it was expensive.
Oh, did she say that?
She said, even just from her tone, she said, yeah. I've never quite seen a spread anything like this.
I do appreciate though, Molly, like, she's pretty open-minded when it comes to the culture. She's out there eating the food. She needs to put her legs up every once in a while, but she's doing it.
She's completely open-minded to the culture. I'm not sure how open-minded she is to Scheana and her family.
Right. But I just love to see her shove it up. They were telling her how to make the ball up the rice in their hands, right? And then they said, yeah, you just make a ball and shove it up.
Forrest and his family were having no issue following her instructions.
Oh, Molly ran with that. She shove it up. I did love to see more eating with hands, though, in this episode. That was so fun. It's like a delight when we get to see the different ways different cultures eat. And they didn't seem to have any problem with it. I feel like Lisa was a little bit, she was talking about when she's eating the fufu with Daniel, talking about being a nurse and it's not real clean. But Forrest and Molly and Dev were fine. They didn't have that issue at all. So good for them.
Yeah. And of course, Molly confronts dad and sister.
Yes. And you know what? She asked one of our couple quick questions. Did you notice?
What did she ask?
Yeah. She asked, how do you feel about Scheana moving to the United States?
That's right. That's right. And what did they say?
They said it's been a dream of hers for years.
No, that's right.
They said, and I thought that, I was like, oh God, here we go. Okay. Because the sister says, oh, we've always known Scheana wanted to move to the States. That's like always been her dream since years ago. And I'm like, red flag, red flag. Oh, Molly.
And the look on Molly's face too was definitely like she was taking that to be a red flag, which I don't always necessarily think that has to be a red flag, but it has a lot to do with the way it's presented.
Of course. But I think it is interesting that it did seem to predate Forrest. Her sister made it sound like it wasn't like, oh yeah, once she met Forrest, she wanted to move to the States. No, that's always been, because she said she's always wanted to work in the United States. That's what it was. So I was like, oh, okay.
She is very career driven, very career oriented. Scheana has a lot of pressure on her, like for the quirks and kind of things that we've learned about her personality. I don't know. That girl's under a lot of pressure as the primary breadwinner, and then pressure from Forrest to not give her parents money, pressure from her parents to give money, like.
Yeah, living in the city by herself, presumably. Her sister's living in the countryside on the grounds. And she's just out there in the city working away. So that's kind of how Molly leads into it. She's like, how do you feel about Scheana leaving? And then she really lays it all on the line. And I will say, what did you think about Molly's approach? Because I thought it was pretty darn measured and calm for what we know she's capable of.
I agree with you there. She stayed calm. She was straightforward. She just kind of hit the nail on the head. And I think even Scheana said that the conversation needed to be had. At some point, maybe before that scene, Scheana, Forrest, Molly, and Dev, they all knew this conversation needed to be had. The only people who didn't know this conversation needed to be had was Sheena's dad and sister, which their reaction.
Sheer surprise, right? Absolutely dumbfounded, right?
They could not believe that their daughter was saying that they would mistreat her.
The look on her sister's face was just completely... I just don't think you can make that up. I don't know. It seemed genuine to me.
Yeah, I agree. They were not happy about it.
And the dad then says, I don't mistreat any of my children. He seemed pretty indignant about that. His body language, his facial expression, he did seem kind of hurt and defensive, but for good reason.
And to put it in the words that Molly used to describe the way that Sheena was explaining her parents to them, Sheena was saying her parents were money-grubbing, cruel people who would lock Sheena up.
Yeah.
So no wonder her dad had this reaction when that's clearly not what was going on.
And then immediately, Sheena starts crying. Saw that coming.
Yes.
Just the guilt on her face. I mean, I just feel like she was so, even before it was her turn to respond, they kind of panned to her and it was just like the shame and guilt. And I was just like, oh, girl, you've been called out.
She did apologize right away.
She did apologize and she promised no more lying. Do we believe her?
No.
I just don't think that, I just think she's gotten a taste. I mean, she knows how she can pull the strings and she's not going to stop.
I know. So I am still a little bit confused about what exactly was going on with Sheena in this whole entire situation. So basically the lie is just that she told Forrest's family that her family was forcing her to give the money. And the truth is that she truly did want to give the money.
Yeah, I think she lied about the nature of her parents' demands and like the severity of their treatment of her. But we find out from the dad that this was all a loan.
Right. And that to me was questionable too. Like, did he just pull that out of his ass right there in that conversation? Just the way that he was talking slowly and like thinking about each and every word when he said that about first of all, that they would be okay with not accepting more money from her. I'm sorry, last episode he said that how hard and challenging it would be to lose her. And now, to Molly and Dev's face, he's saying, no, we could survive without her. But his words are slow, like he's processing the fact that he's saying this as he says it. Same thing about like, oh, it was a loan? That's the way I took it.
But they've been ambushed. We have to remember, they had no context for this conversation. So give the man a second to process, right? He's going to talk slow.
I also think that I think that the dad and the sister really want to relate to Molly and Dev because the dad said something about the first impression being so negative and how harmful that was to him as well. He was truly deeply bothered by this. If these are going to be his in-laws, it's not just Sheena's in-laws. He's viewing Molly and Dev as his own in-laws as well, along with Sheena's. So I think he's probably trying to make a good impression.
I did love Forrest's final thought. He comes back and he kind of takes over the conversation and sums everything up. And he says, Sheena, why did you lie? Why are you doing this? Which she also doesn't even answer. He says, you say you lied because you didn't want to lose me, but you'll lose me if you keep lying.
Yes, that was really good. I did like a little bit of Forrest's response, but some of it I also thought was totally off base, like him immediately asking the parents for more money. And this also goes back to, or like $4,000. And this also goes back to when the very beginning of the conversation they were having, when Sheena's dad tried to steer the conversation to talk about Forrest's finances. And Molly completely shut that down. I don't feel like it was in a rude way. It was respectful enough. And then the conversation completely steered in the other direction of what was going on with Sheena. What I'll say is they've had one of the conversations that has been needing to be had for 7 years. They have yet to have the other conversation, which is, why hasn't Forrest been saving money for Sheena to come to the U.S.? What is Forrest's financial situation? Has Forrest been honest and forthright and completely open with Sheena and her family?
Oh, when are we going to have that conversation?
Sheena had to face the music. I think Forrest needs to face the music too.
Yes. Call to action, Forrest.
Daniel and Lisa are still together in Nigeria, and they're getting ready for the big meeting.
Trying to get Lisa dressed in her traditional outfit. Daniel puts on the skirt to show her how. Do we think Lisa liked that too much, Emily?
Daniel had no idea the significance of putting on a skirt.
Right? She's like, you look good as a lady. I couldn't help but giggle to myself. Oh, Daniel. Crossing into some waters you might not want to wade in, but
that you don't even realize. So they practice presenting the wine. I wanted to give Daniel props for this scene because he's explaining kind of what's going to happen with the uncle. He is prepping Lisa for what's coming up.
Yeah, we do love it when the fiance lets the dumb American know what to expect and how to act and things. Whether they listen and heed the advice or not, always remains to be seen, but it is a nice gesture. How about her tying the headdress? She is giggling. She is having fun. But just the pressure of that situation, you're already nervous to go meet somebody who you need their approval. You're lying on top of lies on top of lies. You didn't know how to do the skirt, and you finally got the skirt, and then it moves to your head. He did help her tie it, begrudgingly, because that's not a man's job. But he did help her tie it, and it looked damn good.
To come back to the lies on lies, Sammy.
Oh.
Do you think lies are different in different cultures?
It's just cultural, Emily. We're Americans. We can lie more because it's cultural. What?
I know. Like, what was that? Their whole interview together, when they're on the couch together, they're just having like one misunderstanding after another.
Yeah, that happens when you don't tell everybody the full truth. That happens a lot.
Right. She's just omitting things. Later on, I do feel that she makes a really good point. I think later on after the whole uncle scene where she kind of makes me realize I think what she means by that is boundaries. She's talking about boundaries. She doesn't think Daniel needs to tell his uncle everything about her. And that does make sense to me.
Okay, because what she says in their interview to begin with is your definition of lying and my definition of lies are different. I'm an American. I understand with the uncle because, yeah, he's not in the relationship. That's something between you and I. But she's lying to Daniel so much. And her daughter, sure, there are certain omissions for people, like it depends on the degrees of separation, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think they're talking about two different things. Daniel is talking about lying to his uncle. He doesn't even realize that he's being lied to. And Lisa is talking about boundaries. She doesn't want the uncle to know every little detail about her. She doesn't think he needs to. And Daniel does say, no, I can tell my uncle every little detail. And it also has to do with, if you ask me, about relationships and closeness and like putting your spouse first. Daniel is still putting his uncle first because he even says, I can tell my uncle everything and I don't have to tell you that I told him, you being Lisa. Whereas Lisa is saying, no, you do not tell your uncle everything about us and our relationship, and you do need to tell me everything.
That's a good point. I think you actually are onto something there with the boundaries thing.
But that does not discount the lies in any way, right? It's two separate things. The boundaries need to be had. They're not being had. The lies need to stop being told, and they're still being told. So, like, it's multiple things happening at once.
That's very true. That's very true. And I think another thing that's happening is just a different expectation or just kind of like idea of what marriage should be. And also, I mean, if we really want to get into it, gender roles, as far as I think in Daniel's culture, his male relationship with his uncle is probably more important than his marriage.
Yes, that's exactly.
Is that unfair to say?
No, that is exactly what I'm talking about, is putting your spouse first. And that is absolutely a cultural thing. I think that for Americans do choose to put their families second, and they choose to put their spouse first. Whereas, I think maybe like in Nigerian culture and like you said, maybe gender roles are different there. That you're right. That's not the case.
Yeah. And just their interpersonal relationships too, of he wants to have a better relationship with his uncle than he wants to have with Lisa. You know what I mean? Like that's his priority is he and his uncle's relationship. Cause his uncle says like, don't bring shame to me and your father, da, da, da. You know, it's almost like he's doing this for the uncle, not for his wife, you know, like getting married and having, you know what I mean? So
100%. That is exactly what it is. And Lisa cannot begin to venture to understand that. I mean, like she needs just to like see that for what it is. She just wants Daniel to put her first. And I don't know if that could ever happen. So they get ready to meet the uncle. They get there to meet the uncle. Lisa is so nervous. I mean, the nerves in this episode. The conversation with Molly and Sheena and the parents. Everyone was so nervous around that dinner table as Lisa is going up to meet the uncle, and then he pulls the biggest power play. They're about to like step up to a little area where the uncle is sitting, and the uncle immediately directs them, go back down the step and kneel down.
I'm sorry, how mad were we at Daniel in this moment? He led her up those steps before kneeling. He told her to kneel first. She clarified like 20 times in the taxi on the way there. So I kneel first. So when I walk in, I just kneel. Like I immediately fall on my knees in front of him and kneel before I do anything else. And he's like, yeah, he confirms it. Then he walks her up to the stairs and starts pushing her up the stairs. And then the uncle's like, don't you know our culture? Kneel. She does, sir. She does. Daniel doesn't.
Right. Why? That was weird. Why? Because then they also did the palm wine presentation differently. Like, wasn't she going to give it and then give it to him and then give it to the uncle?
And did it need to be in like a cool gourd or something? It was like in a plastic bag in the bottle with the price tag still on it from duty free or something. She's been practicing. This poor woman's been practicing.
I was feeling so good about all that prep Daniel gave, and then he just shat all over himself.
What was it for? It just confused her more, the poor woman. But were the uncle's vibes not a little different than they were at the airport?
He was a different person. He was scary. I don't blame Lisa for being so nervous, but she just does not know what to say. Can you imagine, like, the way that he asks the questions? You know, it's not like, oh, hey, like, tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm pretty sure he literally said, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. You see him being so cordial and happy and boisterous in the airport. He's like dancing and hugging her and he's smiling. And then he puts on this uncle that has to give the blessing to, you know, facade or whatever. And he just completely is a different man. He is playing a part. And obviously so. That's the whole point. She has to like prove herself to him, right? He's definitely trying to intimidate her and it is working. It
is working because she does not know how to answer. Who are you? Like she goes all the way back to birth and starts giving her life story.
Did we know she was adopted?
No, we didn't know. And it is so interesting that she just gives that up to the uncle and yet lies about huge things in a couple of breaths.
I was interested to find out she's Native American, Emily. She's not. She's not Native American. She is native to America, I think is what she means. And Irish, she throws in there.
I mean, I have to say that for a moment I was like, wait, Native American? What? And then I realized native to America. Also of Irish heritage. But the question came up, Sammy. Do you practice lesbianism?
I just like witchcraft. Like you practice it. And it's like a belief system that you subscribe to. There's a holy book. Yes.
Exactly. That is such a perfect description. Well, lesbianism is rampant in America, Sammy.
I mean, epidemic.
I mean, it's such, just a hard to swallow cultural difference, cultural pill. sexual identities exist. People are who they are. And it's such a hard thing to watch that other cultures still don't recognize this.
I know.
As just people's existence.
Right?
Lisa does say, I am who I am and I'm not ashamed of it.
Are you not?
Right.
You're acting like it.
She says that, and my very first thought was, then why the fuck are you with Daniel?
Right. That is who you are. It was 21 years of your life, even if it's all of a sudden over now. Literally, these people are saying, we do not accept you for who you are. We think that you are a bad person who makes bad choices. And she's like, love you too. What?
I know. It's honestly just breaks my heart playing it back between the two of us. I'm laughing, but truly it's laugh or cry. My heart is breaking right now for Lisa because I do believe she is proud of who she is. She's not ashamed of it. I also the way she's searching for love is just fraught.
Yes. Good word. It's problematic at best.
So, of course, she lies. She just lies and lies straight through her teeth.
Lies and lies. You know what else she lied about, Emily? To Uncle? She said, oh, well, I take care of my household, and when Daniel needs it, I take care of his household too. No, you don't. Faith does. Juna does.
Such a good point.
Then she's out in her interview, and she says, I have lied in the past, but I'm not a liar. Liar! Yes, you are.
You currently lie because what the uncle was asking was about details about her history. Daniel had shared everything that he knew. Uncle, Lisa, you just need to get used to the fact that Uncle is going to know every fucking detail about who you are. There's no way around it. Uncle's going to know everything.
Uncle's gonna know.
So he knew she had one single lesbian encounter, which, one lesbian encounter, 21 years.
21 years.
Same.
Maybe she only had the one lesbian encounter in the 21 years of being a lesbian, married 3 times to other lesbians. But I doubt it. What does she think will happen when she tells him? Again, we all know.
It's gonna be explosive.
I can't decide if she should have palm wine involved or should not have palm wine involved. Emily, was it not diabolical when Annalyn only made her side of the bed? I'm using that one.
That was next level. That was just, whoa, girl. You thought really hard about that one.
Right? The thought has never crossed my mind. I didn't even know you could make half a bed.
Yeah, that's not something that had crossed my mind.
Just absolutely wild. I loved that for her. Loved that for Javon.
She's pissed off about the friend who Javon's been talking to that she asked him to stop talking to.
And we got on that because at the massage, he called her out for talking to his sister. And he's like, that was unhinged that you talked to my sister too much. So she makes one side of her side of the bed and not his. Fucking love that. I'm seriously I want to go pick a fight with someone just so I can only make half of the bed. But then they go to breakfast and she says she gonna need those receipts. She wants to look at his phone.
She finds cute dog pictures and pictures of herself.
Sus, as the youths are saying. I'm sorry. Come on. Okay. All right.
Really?
Let's ask the freaks. Is it suspicious if a man only has pictures of his dog and his long distance wife girlfriend on his phone? Come on. That seems a little bit curated.
Do you think he has another phone? Do you think he has a hidden secret folder?
I think he just deleted all the pictures or put them on a hard drive or something.
He just deleted.
And I just don't understand reading phones for receipts because I'm not saying I'm above it. Do it. But just know that they can delete things. He's not a dumb man. He's been doing this for 6 years. He can delete his side of conversations. He could delete phone calls. He could delete pictures. He knows she's going to ask to look through it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I could see the other side, though, where they have not been in person ever. So she never has had the opportunity to look at his phone.
I feel like his podcast probably has a how-to guide on how to delete sketchy messages so your wife doesn't find them.
Oh my gosh. Well, his podcast does instruct him how to treat your woman so that they will act right.
God, I wish we would act right more, Emily. Fuck.
We just need to feel constantly threatened in our relationships, Sammy. That's all we need.
Oh, more fear and paranoia.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Oh my God. How messed up is this?
It was so messed up. When we got Annalyn's perspective first, before Javon's perspective, I was like, please, I need to hear what Javon has to say about his podcast. And what they said
exactly
aligned, like in so many words, the way that Annalyn was describing his podcast is the same as what Javon was saying. So like, yeah, the podcasts are saying that he can cheat as long as he provides.
Exactly. Encourage cheating as long as he provides. And that you should have a healthy paranoia or fear in the relationship. Because what is the quote that he said?
Most women only act right when they feel like they can be replaced.
I mean,
Annalyn is not here for this. This is not what we know of her. This is not the kind of relationship she wants. And this is not the Javon that she married.
Yeah.
He changed, remember?
Yeah. And I'm starting to believe her. I mean, I guess we'll never know if he was like this before. She does seem a little blindsided. She's just like, I've been this way the whole time. What is he talking about?
Absolutely. It seems like he's the one who's changed. I see that. But the real question here is working 15-hour days an excuse to forget your anniversary?
I mean, who doesn't forget their anniversary, Emily?
What? No. I'm sorry, but that's... If you're long distance and you have nothing...
Nothing but the anniversary.
Or I just mean you're not with that person. You got to remember the little things. I don't know. I give a big hell no.
Okay.
Working long days is no excuse to forget your anniversary.
Okay, I forget what day it is all the time. All right. Let's just put that out there. I don't know what day it is right now. But also, like, it was 4 years ago. So.
And she's holding on to that. Here's the thing. I don't care about anniversaries. If my partner forgets the anniversary, I don't fucking care.
Right.
Annalyn deeply, deeply cares. And Javon doesn't even know that about her.
Right. And like you said, that's all she has, this poor girl. She doesn't have her man.
Yeah.
She's counting down the days to that anniversary. So yeah, of course. He should definitely have done something.
So what did you think of Javon's reaction to the Hallow Hallow bar?
Honestly, I thought it was probably an appropriate first impression. Like, what the fuck is this? But I will give him props that he ate it. He wasn't in the best mood about it. But I was kind of like, oh, that's not something I would typically reach for dessert.
Jelly, milky, icy dessert dishes. Not
your favorite. I've never had one, but
I have had them multiple times in Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam. I've tried varieties of these types of desserts. I'm sure not exactly the same, although the Hallow Hallow bar had many different options. So it had a lot there is what it looked like. What I took away from that scene was just what Annalyn picked up on was his unwillingness to just be lighthearted and just have a good time, and just his discomfort was really shining through.
His resting bitch face. Like, she calls him out on it. She's like, why your face look like that all the time?
And that's just like the way that he is. Like, and this goes back to the very beginning when they first met, and one of them says something about opposites attract. I think it's Javon. So like Javon knows that they are just very opposite. And I think Annalyn is just kind of coming to terms with who her husband is in person.
And it is. I mean, I feel like it is a little bit off-putting in person to feel like someone doesn't want to be doing what you're doing or be where you are. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the energy she's picking up on from him. Like, he's doing it, but he doesn't want to be.
Because he thinks that all that's required for love and romance in a relationship is to pay the bills,
provide.
Is that it? Like, that's literally
That's it.
Pay the bills, provide. Like, that's all that
Right.
he needs to do. And she needs to be just like happy and like so fulfilled. And that is so devastating to Annalyn. The tears start streaming down her face. Like, those tears were about him saying look, that's all I can give you. And that's all you should need. And I really think that she is realizing and maybe just becoming overwhelmed with the fact that she needs way more than that.
Yeah, and rightly so. But he was pretty resentful. Did you hear that when he was talking to her about that he works 15-hour days and she doesn't? That she just gets to like sit around, and you could see it in her face. It kind of struck a nerve too.
Yeah.
Does he want her to work? Because some of these guys, they specifically are like, no, you won't work. You know, she's on his time schedule. Is that at his behest? Did he ask for that? Is he okay if she goes out and gets a job? Because he seems like it, but then like he won't be the provider. What would his podcast say about that?
Well, BeerCon sure as hell has a lot to say about Michael in Laura's life. The first thing we see of them this episode is their post Evil Eye bead making taxi ride. BeerCon says, step back and see your relationship with him.
Again, is he wrong?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. I want him to be wrong, though. I don't want him to be wrong. Because he says, men knows men.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, fuck, you're right. Like, I want men and women to be able to be friends platonically. Time and time again, we see cases proving that they can't be. And Laura's reaction is ridiculous. She's like, there's nothing more. We're just friends. You know you're not, Laura. You know damn well there is more here. So she's lying to him now.
Absolutely. She doesn't want to lose Michael as her friend. And, you know, is willing to put her relationship with BeerCon on the line for that. It's interesting how they go directly to meeting the friends from this argument. I can see how that would be a really tough energy to transition and like, okay, like put on a happy face, go meet the friends.
Because she doesn't want to, right? She's like, could we meet them another time? Like, this is a really weird, I'm in a weird space. Like, I don't want to do this right now, right?
Yep. And he says, nope, we got to go meet him now, which is funny because the friends want to give away your big ass secret, BeerCon. Like it hasn't already been a tough enough day. Like you want to go see your friends who are going to tell your secret?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, how about the friends though? His girlfriend, like the girl of the friends, loved her. I loved everything about her. She's so stinking cute. Her sneaky English that she actually knows but won't use. I love her
because she actually translated for Laura at one point. So yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I loved her too. I loved the both of them. They both seem to know BeerCon really well. In their interview outside of the cafe, the insights that they're giving about why BeerCon gambles, that was pretty deep.
Yeah. And they know that they don't know him, right? They're like, there's an unknown side too and this and that. But yeah, I think they seem like good friends. That girl is the one that encouraged him to tell her, right? To tell Laura.
I feel like they both did because the guy friend also said, can I say? You know, because I think Laura says, tell me something I don't know about BeerCon. And the friend is like, well, can I say? Does she know?
Right. She's not impressed that he just sits around smoking shisha, drinking tea every day when he's this much in debt, which I don't blame her. But here's my problem. Why would you let BeerCon translate for you? He's going to say whatever he wants to say. This is where Google Translate comes in. Or any other translator app, you type it in or you speak into the phone and it translates it because BeerCon could say whatever he wants to say. They have whole entire side conversations that she's not privy to and she knows it. I don't know. I wouldn't trust, maybe she trusts him, but I wouldn't that early on in the relationship, I would want to hear straight from the friends themselves, like no beer con filter.
This happens frequently when Americans are traveling abroad to meet their fiancés. They're getting translated for. And the other piece of this is your significant other is gonna see this scene. Like, right. Are you planning on telling them before they watch that whole, first of all, you're going to have to reveal the secret that you were hiding in that conversation. Second of all, you're going to have to reveal that the secret was already revealed during filming back in that scene when I lied to you about whoever said what.
Exactly. That just
seems...
Or
the next scenario is that you maybe reveal the truth, but you don't tell them about that conversation in which it was already revealed and you didn't translate correctly. And they don't know until they watch.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that would piss me off.
Yeah, no, you got to do better, Americans. You got to bring yourself a Translate app. You got to let the friends speak into it. All right, we're not letting the fiancés do the translating because at that point it's interpreting, and we're just open to their interpretation. You know. But she does say that she likes that he's dark and mysterious.
Right, he's her dark, smutty lead.
Yes, exactly. But Emily, we finally find out what he has been doing this whole time, which, as you alluded to, gambling.
He's been gambling.
I do love that we jumped to either prostitution or drugs.
We completely forgot about the gambling.
Wasn't a thought in my mind.
Same.
Nope. So, sorry, Beer Con, that we called you a gigolo. Our bad. That's on us. So, next up, we have Rick and Trish going to see some lemurs, which, yes, Madagascar's famous for. The only place in the world that has lemurs, which is super cool.
So cool. Amazing.
And they're standing under a tree. Lemurs leering over them, and Trish goes into a conversation about having her own kids, which we saw coming.
Trish had already told Rick that she wants to have kids. Didn't she already bring this up on video chats with Rick? This is not new information, Rick. He is driving me nuts about this. Directly to Trisha's face, he says he's not ready to decide whether or not he wants kids. Then immediately, he turns around in his producer interview and says he's not ready to have more kids.
When you gonna be ready? Your whole thing is that you're too old already.
When you gonna be straightforward and honest with your hot, amazing, kind, smart, honest girlfriend? He's just not honest with her.
She deserves so much better. And it just goes to show, honestly, he's wasting her time.
Yeah.
He's older, like he doesn't want to have kids at his age, which I'm sorry, I call bullshit because you already have young kids. So she's ready now. Put a baby in her. You'll have another one.
That's what I'm saying. He does not want kids. He's not being honest to Trish. He tells the camera in his interviews, I'm not ready to have kids. I don't want to have kids. And then to her face, he says, I don't know. I haven't decided yet, because he's trying to continue to string her along. Honestly, I think Rick knows she's going to leave his ass as soon as she finds out about the whole Colombia situation. So he's just trying to play out this amazing vacation in Madagascar with this hot girl before he's left in the dust. He wants to be able to, keep getting some as long as he can until she finds out the truth and fucking walks away from his ass.
He's got to get his $50 out of that squirt tarp. Dude, selfish. He's selfish. He's selfish. And that is the least of the things I could call him. Sometimes when the fiancés are selfish or don't treat each other right, I hate to say it, but some of the fiancés are kind of not the best either. So I'm like, all right, maybe whatever. I don't feel as bad about it, but this makes me sick to my stomach. Trish deserves better. She deserves so much fucking better. And he's doing it so knowingly. He's just wasting her time, clearly does not love her. If you loved her, you would want her to have kids regardless.
Yeah.
Even if it's not with you, you love her. You see how important that is to her. You're going to tell her yes or let her go. That's not what's happening. He's just so selfish.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't even really bother me that Trisha has not told her dad a single thing about him.
Oh, hell no. Don't
Like,
tell her.
it's not cool. And, Rick is like, oh, she's really put me in a disadvantage. Oh my God, please, man up, Rick. Like, fucking man up. I honestly, I'm so annoyed with Rick. I don't even fucking care. Like, that's fine, Trish. Rick should be able to handle that situation.
Yeah, good. Put him at a disadvantage. Honestly, as much of a disadvantage as he's put her in, I love that her dad is not as old as him.
And the dad knows literally nothing about Rick. He doesn't know his age. He doesn't know he's been divorced multiple times. He doesn't know he's a father of 5. All of the things Trish kept listing. My dad didn't want me to be with someone like this and this and this. And it's every single thing that Rick is.
Mm-hmm. I hope that her dad forbids it, and I hope she listens. No, I don't condone forbidding people, but I really hope her dad has a long talk with her about why this is such a poor choice. I truly don't understand what she sees in him.
Right. Yeah.
I wish I could explain it.
I don't either. He just continually makes me mad. At one point he says he's going to meet Trisha's family. He's going to meet Trisha's dad. He wants to be open and honest with her parents. And when I hear that, I just throw my arms up in the air and I just think, what about being open and honest with Trisha?
With Trish!
Your girlfriend!
The person you love. And then he goes, I don't know how she's going to take it. Yeah, you do. We all do.
That's what I'm saying. He just wants to play out this. He loved having his sex vacation in Colombia. Now he just wants to play out another sex vacation in Madagascar. As soon as Trisha finds out the reality, she better leave his ass. I mean, I don't know if she will, but we'll see.
God, she will. I need the women in this season to have more self-respect, please.
Same.
Okay, order up, self-respect.
All right, next week on Before the 90 Days, Laura and Beer Con are on a romantic getaway. Emma and Zied are back. Lisa takes her wig off. Annalyn keeps complaining. And Rick finally, Rick comes clean.
I'm not going to believe it till I see it. I will not believe it until I see it with my own eyes. This man will never tell. Annalyn and Javon are up for a couple quick questions this week. Are they really in love?
I think they were in love at the beginning of their relationship. They've been together for 6 years. I don't think they're in love anymore. I think they wish they were still in love.
Oh. Are they in it for the visa?
No, I don't think so. It's one of those super long-term relationships. I don't think Annalyn's in it for the visa.
Will they make it?
Sadly, no. I don't think they will. I think they're both growing in opposite directions.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Who wears the pants?
Annalyn wears the pants, and I think that's probably the issue because I think they both want Javon to wear the pants, and Javon maybe thinks he wears the pants. And I think Annalyn wants a man who wears the pants, but she needs someone who does so in a compassionate, caring, more interactive, expressive way. So because Javon is not doing that, Annalyn's wearing those pants.
Okay. In her cute little dresses.
Exactly.
She'd be wearing the pants. Could they survive in the other's country?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I could see that. I think that Javon could survive there with or without Annalyn, honestly. And I could see Annalyn in the U.S. as well.
Nice. Where do you want to go?
I would love to go to the island in Madagascar with the lemurs. That looked gorgeous and amazing. Just one of those once in a lifetime opportunities to see such a rare animal in its natural habitat. I would love that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And then can we please go to the beach and eat that fish? cook it right on the beach.
The little campfires dug into the sand with the fried fish, garlic and ginger, of course, all the yummy things. Would you be willing to squat for that, Sammy?
Again, Rick, you're a dancer. Fucking squat down, dude. Maybe some more squats would help your tapping. Who knows? But yeah, no, those ladies freshly like catching the fish and counting them and seasoning them. Come on, Rick, do better.
Do better.
My 90-day takeaway, absolutely hands down, is if you got some beef with someone, only make your side of the bed. I will use that forevermore in my real life, and I'm so excited. Like, practical knowledge from our favorite show. Thank you.
That's it, Fiancé Freaks. If you liked this episode, be sure to match our freak by subscribing, leaving a review, and following 90 Day Fiancé Freaks on social media for more.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.